What's up, everybody? I'm Ethan with Fight Me on this,
I'm Jill at Coach Jill.April.
and welcome back to the podcast.
How you doing? What's going? What's not going?
Hi.
This is when you type and answer me. Okay, thanks.
Go. And here's a space to answer that question. Ready to go. Ooh, like a protein. Something to do while they answer the questions on how they're doing. If you're driving, you better be pulled over. Or use voice to text, something. You have it? You told us? Hi. Good. I'm so glad so many of you were so good, and I'm sorry that some of you aren't. I know that space. But welcome.
Do you have a hard?
Whatever that plant is doing.
Oh, yeah, one of Ethan's plants is sad.
I'm not sure why. I think it needs a bigger pot. So that'll be fun.
The rest are doing pretty good.
Yeah, most of them will figure out how to. Like, not everyone's trying to climb back up the wall, but that's okay. Yeah, no real hard in the moment that I can think of outside of just more tedious, tenuous shit. More exciting shit. Just shit. Lots of work. We're going at 150 miles an hour together right now. It's a bit much. But that's life, and that's this mission, and that's putting shit out to you guys. Thanks for ruining my life.
It's all your fault.
No free time. Fucking goddamn it. Always doing shit for other people. What's your heart? You asked me what my heart was.
Oh, my heart is realizing, and like I've known this for a minute, but like really realizing how fucked up my brain is with money. Because it like annoys me, but also puts like, what do people say? A strain, a stress on me and Ethan. Strain. I feel like people use that word.
Yeah.
Puts a strain on our relationship. Whatever. It just like adds a stress that doesn't necessarily need to be there. And I'm not really sure, like, as I deal with it more, I'm like, I've always known I'm unsettled with money because I run a business. And in my brain, like, that could be gone tomorrow. But like, could it? Because I've been here for a minute now. And I think like that's where my frustration comes from, even within myself, because like, sure, when I was a new business owner only doing it for like a year or two, yeah, sure, like I could have been like, oh, this actually isn't working, see ya, and had to go get a regular job. But it's been like
many
8 years since I graduated from NAIT, and for the last 8 years, in some extent, I've been self-employed, and for the last 4 years I've been fully self-employed. So like, at what point does my brain stop thinking tomorrow it's all going to be gone? And like it,
and you're white, like, really, you,
yeah, and
sorry,
like,
I say that with in like as a quip, but like, you're white. Sorry, this is my frustration coming out. Like, you're white. At the end of the day, no matter all the things you said are true, but you forget that you're white.
And I do have like a bailout, scapegoat. What's the proper word? Scapegoat's not right word.
You have a contingency plan.
Like, I do have parents that have my back, whether I need them to or not. And I try really hard. My hyper independence tries really hard to not need anyone ever. And like, I can pay my own bills and I can do my own thing. And, you know, the strong, independent woman spiel. So then, like, believe that? Question mark. Like, I haven't needed anyone for the past 8 years. So what?
And still don't. And
like, literally, worst case scenario, there'll be a day, I'm sure, where I'm like, I'm actually over running a business. Unless, like, I do want to bring in trainers and I do want to, like, work out of my business a little bit. And I think that would be a whole different vibe. But I'm also sure there'll be a day where I'm like, I'm over it. And then I'll go get a regular 9 to 5 and
be over that quicker.
Yeah. Be like, fuck, we're starting a new business. Be over
that quicker.
But it's just like reaching my point of frustration of like seeing it cause a stress and like be a frustration for both of us, and then also me being like, why am I still stuck in the
Mm-hmm.
it could be gone tomorrow, I have no money, what if, like what if I make $1 billion?
Yeah, like
And that's my
that's
biggest
my
frustration.
train of thought is like, what if you you have to fall hard to have nothing from where you are. You have to fall, and it can happen quick. But when we say that to remind you that like you can blink and one decision can remove you from society. But that's true for everybody at all times. But we get stuck on this thing because we've seen it and we're afraid of it. But like you would have to have like a monumental shift in psyche, perspective, well-being to just have nothing. And that's my like misunderstanding. Like for someone that doesn't do well with money, doesn't have a savings, will die with an empty bank account because literally fuck the system. But even I'm aware of like that's me choosing to make sure I'm okay with money that way. I don't want for shit. I don't have everything that I could possibly have, but like I have a roof, I have that one, I have another one over there, and I have a kid. And I technically have like half of a dog. It's a weird
Like
thing,
three
but
quarters of a dog.
like it, yeah, it's technically mostly mine, 51%. But it. Even I would have to monumentally fuck up to fall that far. You have so many people behind you that wouldn't let you fall further than a certain degree. Like sure they'll let you go a little bit because it's your life, but like then they'll go, hey, yeah, what you doing? Nah. And not even from a financial standpoint, from a mental well-being standpoint, like what is up with you? You're not this way with money, you're not this way with life, you're not this way with things. It would bring more questions for Jill,
Like
but
if I
like
started throwing my money out, Ethan would be like, something's
so
going
that's
terribly
my point
wrong.
is like you these fears are as valid as they are, they're not real. you you'd have to really fail on repeat every day in front of people that would have to let you fail. And that's the piece for me. Like if she goes down, the whole ship goes down. If I go down, the whole ship goes down. Why is that? Because the support structure is built that way. I would sense long before, Brian would sense long before, someone would sense long before that something's up with you, if that ever started to happen. Because she's not this way. But like the other side of that coin is like, yeah, but now enjoy the thing that you did. You have crafted and built such a beautiful empire for yourself already. And it's going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I think it's just finding like a better aligned therapist for myself. Like a big thing I'm noticing is I always like get a therapist for a specific problem. Like my first therapist was after like a very toxic, very narcissistic relationship. So I was like, I need a therapist to fix that problem. And then my next one was like a therapist that was more involved in like poly and non-monogamy and untraditional relationships so that I could have support in that area. And then my brain goes like, hey, now I need a therapist for money. But I think it's just like somebody to help me work through all the things that I obviously learned from growing up from my parents intentionally or not. Because it's like not overly fun for me to be stressed about money all the time and to feel like I never have enough. So stay tuned as I work on that.
Joy is new connections that are accidental. Uh, I met somebody at a rally that I was working and supporting another friend in, another connection through connections. And this human is just neat. Just neat. It's just a neat human. And you all know me. I love connecting with people. I love new connections. It's exciting for whatever reason. And this person's asking a lot of great questions, a lot of deep dives and understanding, and whatever this connection turns out to be, I'm super excited for. But just when it's effortless, when it's easy, when it just happens. Like this is the first time that somebody has walked into my life this way, and just neat. Didn't have to be on a dating site. Didn't have to be on these places, and to weed through the crazies. It was just this person that real time. Like we get behind a screen, and it's this tentative. I don't. Is it safe? Do I play the game? Do I do this thing? Do I do? I'm like, I don't like that. I'm bad at small talk, anyways. Uh, and so like I want to get in front of the person. So why can't we go for coffee? You're around a million people every day and you don't have any problem with it. It's like what's wrong with sitting down with one of them? And I'm like genuinely I'm a presence enough on social media that I'm safe. So like do your quick girl research that you always do and find out I'm safe enough to sit in coffee. Because like once you get there it's fun. So like when it happened because we were in a place of work together, uh they were supporting their friend in their versions. I was supporting my friend in what I was doing, and it came together. And there they were, just a neat human sharing stories while we had downtime, and a couple of back and forths, a couple of pokes and flirts and prods, and it's neat. And they're a cool human. They've asked Jill a couple of good, really cool questions to understand, what comes next for them in many aspects. So it's just fun. I like new connections. I like just fostering new things like that. Yeah. Yay.
That is exciting to watch you do your thing. I had a joy. Oh, my joy is like simple, and some of you are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But my legs are sore today.
I fucking understand you.
I haven't been doing like as much time in the gym as I used to. I would say like we worked out for like hour and a half at a time when we were at the gym,
Which is not a long time. She says that like it was an eternity.
but it's sometimes for multiple people. What a time!
Yeah.
Anyways,
No shit.
anywho, I've only been working out for like 45 minutes an hour, I would say, the past couple of weeks. So part of my brain was like, am I actually doing enough? And like, as much as soreness is not a gauge
Good
of
caveat,
if
bro.
you're working out hard enough, but like, there's a piece of my brain where I'm like, am I like, and even as a trainer, this is how my brain goes sometimes. Am I wasting my time only working out for 45 minutes? But so to feel my legs be like a little bit sore and a little bit tired today, I'm like, okay, no, it's not actually. And I tell my clients this all the time. Like, it's not actually about how long I work out. Like, I've been picking 5 or 6 exercises. I've been doing like 4 circuits through, calling it a day. And like
45-minute workouts.
But I also just like put in my headphones.
Yeah.
And I don't stop. I just like loop them. And being a trainer, I can program that I can like don't really need a rest because it's like upper lower core, upper lower. So I don't really need to like stop and give my legs a break. So it feels nice to just be able to like throw some exercises down, rip through them, be done, and it be more like efficient rather than just hours long.
Yeah, and like to the point of it not being like the metric for a good workout. If it is your metric, cool. As long as this, excuse me, coming from a good place. Like, I love pain from start to finish in some way, shape, or form. I love it. I utilize it. It's a tool, a modality. It's my best friend at the same time as it's my worst enemy. Pain is one of our greatest gifts as humans, in my opinion. It teaches us so much shit about ourselves. It doesn't even teach us about the outside world. It'll teach you a lot about your friends and who they really are when it comes down to it. But like, it's a great tool for yourself. Sorry, I get distracted.
No, it's when people are like, I don't want to be sore. I'm like, oh, I actually like being sore.
The toxic of like, you hear the bro go, I worked out for 3 hours, I can't walk. It's like, that's a bit much. And if that's your MO, cool. And if it works for you, cool. And if you're healthy, and I mean healthy, not like you look healthy, like you don't go to the doctor every month to get checkups, stupid. But like, the craziest thing that happened when I did my weight loss, when I did my mental health work, and all the shit that I've done in the last 4 years was I stopped getting sore. And for a while there, I was so mad about it because I love a good workout. I'm like, oh yeah, my back, I did back yesterday. Oh, my lats, oh my whatever, just like that little reminder. But then it became this like belt of honor that I wasn't in pain anymore. And the philosophical metrics of doing all that work, of grinding through the suck again to come out the other side pain-free is a fascinating process, but it happens in the gym all the time.
I think it's important to know like you're not going to be sore forever, but like typically when you do something different, high rep or whatever, maybe you're going to be a little bit sore. So don't like chase being sore all the time because that's also not efficient with your workouts. But you're also probably know what's going to make you a little bit more sore. It's like when you go to a Pilates class and you're like, what the fuck?
Yoga does it to me all the time from stretching muscles. I'm not used to stretching. I'm sore the next day. Like, god damn. Sorry, folk.
Anytime you like step out of your regular routine, you're going to notice a little bit of soreness. Yeah, and it just like also settles in my brain of like, okay, I can like keep going this way and I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah. Joy's done. We've got a couple of great questions this week. This time, whatever the fuck. And they're going to be like mostly at Jill, I think. We had a question come in from one of my people, and they asked up front. There's a couple of questions that came in up front, but what is it like for you to process early? What was it like for you to process early on having people come into the house? The first bit of having partners, also just like what it was like for you having to shift into this life, not just with me, but just into this life for yourself, and what that means, which is doing life with me, having people in house partners come in, etc. Enjoy. And Jill's episode begins now.
Um.
Oh, I did this already. Look at me.
I think. Where do I want to start?
And I don't know that.
I think a big piece of it is like trusting who Ethan chooses to bring into this house. Is a big thing I like settled in early on. Like, not everybody Ethan talks to or meets gets to come into this house. And if it was like every person he talks to comes here, then I'd probably feel differently. But like, he is a little more selective about who gets to come into our space, into our home. Like, this is where we live, this is where we work, this is where his kid comes, my dog lives, we have a roommate. Like, we say this space is welcome to everyone
that we choose.
Yeah. But like, don't just be showing up at our house. That's going to go poorly for you.
Everyone else is a threat.
So like, first step, like, I trust Ethan of who he chooses to bring into this house. Like, it's not really a concern of mine if somebody's going to come to our house until Ethan's like mentioned them a handful of times. He's went for coffee at least twice. Like, there's usually a little bit of like a step one, step two. And then like maybe they get invited to the house. So I think it heavily depends on like the person he's connecting with. And depends on like what they're here for, in quotes. So not everybody gets to walk through our front door, which is helpful for me. But even as a human who's like fairly introverted and like not nearly as socially anxious as I used to be, but it still kicks around every once in a while.
Still duly reminded me.
Yeah, it's also like leaning into that trust and then knowing that it's fine if I'm not best friends with everybody. And it took me a minute to settle into that. I would say it was like the biggest hurdle because I was like, oh my God, if people are going to come here, I have to like them and they have to be friends with me and we all have to hang out. But
I forget that happened.
Like, it was like a big stress on me. And I was doing that to myself of like, oh my God, if somebody's going to be in this house, we all have to be best friends and sit on the same couch and hang out and talk the whole time and blah, 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 blah. And then eventually, as more people started to come into our house and I like got exposed to different people and their vibes, I shifted to like, oh no, this is just how some people are. Like, some people come here just to like smoke weed and chill and hang with Ethan. Some people come here for conversation and community and a hangout. Some people are fine either way, and it's not necessarily up to me.
Some people just come to get dick down. That's what she avoided saying.
And it's not like up to me to be like, and now everybody's best friends. And to be okay with like, cool, somebody's coming over. Like, in the old house, it was like, I'm going to go hang in our room. Like, if I knew it was somebody who wasn't necessarily going to chat a ton or wanted to hang out with everybody or whatever, and not that they had to say that out loud, but like, we can all read a room. It got easier for me to be like, cool, I'll be upstairs if anybody needs me. And it wasn't like avoidant. It would be like, hey, how's your day? Have a conversation. You guys do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing. And learning for myself that doesn't make it weird or awkward for me to be like, I'm going to be over here if you need me. And then nobody's going to get offended by me being like, I'm actually like not really feeling people-y today. So, and took a little bit of like giving Ethan a heads up as well. Like, somebody came over before we moved out of the old house, and I have gotten far better with like straight up telling Ethan, like, it was the first time they were in our space. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really like feeling people-y today. So like, I'll say hi, I'll come down to grab food or coffee or whatever, but like, I'm not going to hang out with you guys. And that's fine, because at the end of the day, they're Ethan's person, Ethan's person, Ethan's connection. And as much as they might want to meet me and hang out with me, like, as long as Ethan's there, they should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as they don't walk into the house and then Ethan's like, I'm going to go upstairs. You guys have fun. Like,
Which I do.
Yeah.
But also, like, I do because they came over after work and I haven't showered yet. And I'd like to sit on the couch and be clean with my people.
And he probably knows at that point that, like, we can sit and have a conversation.
Yeah, I don't just, like, I do. Don't get it twisted. Like, I will make people be grown-ups and sit in a room and shoot the shit without warning, because fuck you.
It's also like, if you're gonna walk
you're a
into
fucking grown-up, talk to another grown-up. You're not fucking 5.
Also, if you're gonna walk into our house and then just, like, only talk to Ethan, then
go away. That'll be the last time you're in the house.
That also tells us everything we need to know also.
Yeah, that is Ethan missed on one. But like, and that's all of this is, again, what Jill's saying is a conversation. We'll say it again.
Yeah, and it's also like me sitting in the fact that, like, this is my home, and I don't say that as like a possessive thing. Like, this is my house.
Mm-hmm.
With love, who the fuck are you to be like, well, Jill didn't hang out with me. Well, good thing it's my house and you were here to hang out with Ethan. Like, there's also like that coin of it, of like, if anybody ever chose to get offended by like me going to walk Nola or me hanging out upstairs, like, you're in my house. So, like, don't worry about what I'm up to. As long as I'm not, like, a cunt to your face, don't really worry about what I'm up to. Or as long as I'm not, like, not welcoming. Like, it's always like, hey, nice to meet you. Conversation. I make my decision from there. It's not really up to people to decide what I choose to do in my own home. And, like, that's something Ethan had to remind me of often, of, like, why are you feeling uncomfortable? This is your house. Do whatever you want in this.
Let me frame it to you this way. If you brought a girl home and I fucked off, you'd be more worried about what I was doing. You'd be more concerned that you've offended me because I made it clear that something's up. So you'd have to then focus on me. Taking away from the reason that we do this life together is we get to love who we want, bring who we want, share time with who we want, and see the problem? I've created a problem for you by thinking that I'm a problem, because there's no reason for me to be a problem in my own space. I'll leave you in a room to go play video games.
Brian just laughed from downstairs.
What do you mean? Like, once you're in my home, I said this to Liv, you only get to visit once. After that, you're just here. You get to play the timid new space card, oh no, one time in our home, and that's it. After that, it's equally your space, because you are safe enough and you've proven that it's cool for you to be here. So come be here. Take in the opportunity to be around. If you choose to hide after that, you can hide at your home.
It's like
out of mind.
Even on the monogamy side of things,
yes.
Brian had a girlfriend one time. Brian,
many times.
Brian, I'm talking shit.
Brian's a hoe.
For a second.
Brian's a hoe.
Brian, I've said this to Brian's face, so it's not.
We will caveat this as we don't talk shit about Brian outside of the shit we've already talked about Brian. To his face, most times. Brian
was dating a girl one time, and she didn't really speak.
It was a straight cat.
She didn't really speak. The
other one. We're going. I thought you were telling a different story.
No.
See, Brian's a hoe.
Brian was dating a girl one time, and she was around for like a minute, which is fine, but like very much like was at our house the first time, didn't really speak, was at our house the second time, didn't really speak, was at our house the 10th time, didn't really speak, and then
I got mad.
What?
So then I got mad.
And then Ethan and I talked about it, and then Ethan got mad because specifically I was like clocking. I'm like, this girl doesn't really speak. Like, she would like sit on the couch on her phone.
On the phone's the key. I'm gonna stop doing weed real quick.
She would be like sitting on the couch, just like scrolling on her phone.
This
and, like,
is from the moment they got in the house.
And the three of us would be like in conversation on the main floor of the house.
Brian
and, like,
included in the 3. Sorry, not the girl that's sitting here like this.
And she would not chime in one time. Like, there's many opportunities to be like, I got something to say about this conversation. Nothing. And I would even like do her dirty and like, be like, specifically ask her a question and be like, you better start fucking talking. Nothing. Like, I would get like 3-word answers. Because like once I clock that something's happening, then the like petty part of my brain turns on, and I'm like, well, if you're not going to willingly speak, I'm going to make you speak. And then we went to one of Ethan and Brian's football games, and she was there, And I did the being nice thing, even though I was already like, why the fuck
Was
doesn't
this
she
when we were in Red
speak?
Deer?
Lacombe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. Sorry.
I was
With
already
Ashley being there.
I was already annoyed because I was like, she doesn't speak. And she went to the football game with Brian. Me and Ethan came after because Ethan was coaching, not playing. I see her and I know she's by herself. And I'm like, it's raining, to set the scene for you. It's raining and like
To set the scene.
it's raining and like 10 degrees. Like it was not fucking warm that day.
Yeah,
And
it was a tough game. That was
she's like all dressed
whooped the
up.
shit out of them, but it was a
She's
tough
all
game.
like dressed up and cute, which is not my type of girl, but whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to sit in the car for a bit because it's raining and 10 degrees. Do you want to sit in the car with me? She goes, no, I'm good. I'll just stand outside.
What? Oh, you didn't know that, Brian?
This is when I got pissed because I literally was like, hey, like, I literally know you're by yourself and don't know anybody at this fucking football game. The car's warm. It was like an hour till the game still. I'm like, I'm going to sit in
This
the
is
car.
pre-game. You didn't set the pre-games.
She didn't even need to like speak to me. Like I was like, I'm going to sit in the car and like hang for a bit where it's warm.
No shit. You could have sat on your phone, bitch. I just asked you if you wanted to be warm.
And she's like, no, I'm good. She literally goes, no, I'm good. I'll just wait outside. And I literally like opened my phone to Snapchat my best friend. I'm like, this fucking bitch. Like, are you literally kidding me? And then football game happens, whatever. We get home. I tell Ethan. And then that's when we had a conversation with Brian after that because I was like, Ethan, I was literally nice to her. And you know I don't give a fuck about making girlfriends. And I went out of my way to be like, hey, want to be my friend? And she was like, fuck you, bitch, basically, is how that went.
We got a little derailed on the topic, but this is fun now.
But then continued to not speak in our house.
I got viscerally pissed at this point. Like at this point, like I'm pretty sure I came unglued. Hold on, you talk.
And then like continued to be in our house and like not speak. So now I literally was like, I hate you, whatever. And then like months later tells me she thinks I'm scary. So like if you're gonna show up in our house and exist in our space, you only get so long to figure it the fuck out. Or else I'm just gonna decide I don't like you. And
yeah, like at this point, like I talked to her like I was talking to a teenage daughter. She's like, listen, you little fuck. Something to the effect. I don't have time. If you've been warned multiple times, like, listen, either you get the fuck off your phone or you get the fuck out of my house. I'm not playing this shit. I don't know who raised you, but like, you're in someone's home who welcomes you in that shit, and you're gonna sit on your phone. You've been here 17 times now. You don't talk to nobody. Then what the fuck are you doing in my space? Either get the fuck off your phone and join the community, or stay the fuck home. Brian, that goes for you too. I don't know. Like, fuck. I'm not even sorry.
So, like, you only get so long to figure it out in our space between, like, before I no longer give a fuck.
And that space is much shorter thanks to that bitch.
And if you,
now
like,
we don't have patience for it.
Yeah. There's not, like, a lot of coming back from me being like, fuck you. So, like, figure it out in that window. I'm very, like, nice and chill most of the time.
Sure.
The boys confirm that I'm like fairly chill.
The boys also warn their people that you have a resting bitch face on impact. So
listen,
50,
I'm
50.
still
people walk into this house, Jill's like everyone's like, why do you hate me?
Very nice.
She doesn't. She just wants you to think she hates you.
It's also part of my safety for my own brain is like I'll sit here and read the room for a second. Do I want you to
can
know?
read the room with a smile from time to time, but it never happens.
Don't tell me how to behave in my own house.
It kills me. I don't, bitch. Calm down. I've never once told you how to fucking behave in your own house unless I tell you to fucking behave.
But yeah, there's like a window for everybody. So you probably want to catch me when I'm on the Welcome to My Home, Let's Be Friends. You don't know what to do with your hand right now, do you? You probably want to catch me on the Welcome to My Home, Let's Be Friends phase, not the why the fuck don't you speak to me phase. Stop, I'm trying to talk. Can I have that?
Yo, you're gonna have it.
Yep. Does that answer the question?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember what the question was. Yeah, I think I trust Ethan, to recap, to bring appropriate people into this house, and then also like trust myself to like read the room and figure out the vibe and not feel weird or awkward about doing what I need to do in my own house. Yep, obviously different if somebody is here with the intent of like dating both of us, but
Yeah, that's a whole other
I've navigated the
question,
most of
conversation.
like people dating Ethan and
Mhm.
coming into our home, so that's kind of how I tackle that situation. And obviously that's the like in quotes more uncomfortable for people, because if somebody's here for both of us, then like we're all,
Then it's
literally all just hanging out.
and we're just chilling. Which I think is also like a part of why it's hard for people to grasp. Like Emily and I have been together for over a year, and Emily just comes to chill. Like I love Emily. I love what she brings to my life and the energy she is, and fuck, she's hot. But like really quickly, she just assimilated herself in here. She walked in the door and said, "This is Emily, everybody. She's super fun to be around, and she's gonna hang out for a bit." And then she chose to make best friends with everybody. That was the first time that I left somebody in the house with everybody else by themselves. I had to shower. I was just at work, and I could hear Brian and Emily going back. I set them off on a video game conversation because Brian's a nerd and Emily is a huge nerd, has a career in nerd. Super cool. I love what. Anyways, so I saw it and then I left, and I can hear Emily's got a really big laugh like I do, and I can. Brian said something and she cackled, and I was in the shower and I heard it, and just everything in my soul was nourished in that moment. To hear someone that I genuinely care about and want to spend time and share life with, just assimilating into my house, into my life, with my people, like she'd been here the whole time. Uh, so people also, when they get it, when they make the decision, when they understand it, it's really effortless for them to get along.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be hard. The concepts are quite simple. I liked, it comes from a place of love, now life. No time expectation, just life, because I love. Cool.
Yeah, I also think it like heavily depends on the other person.
Yeah.
Like I'm somebody who's like very intuitive with people. Call it woo woo, call it whatever you want. You're putting out an energy whether you're aware of it or not. And there's people that have walked into our house where like I can like feel how fucked up their energy is walking into our house.
I think you talked about that like episode 3.
Yeah, so as much as it's like on me to make people feel welcome and cool and chill and like behave how I normally would, it's also on people to not walk in here fucked up. Like there's been people that walk into our house and I literally feel my stomach flip. And then there's no faking that for me. Like I will go walk my dog. I will go upstairs. I will make myself not be in that situation because I'm gonna be fucking weird the whole time anyways. So I might as well just go. And that's also like a conversation between me and Ethan of like, hey, I'm not really going to be around when this person is here, and here's why, and like navigating that.
And that's not so that it dictates what I do.
It's
with
so
this
that
person. It's
Ethan
so that
doesn't think it's weird that
Yeah.
every time they come over, I'm like, I'm going on an hour and a half walk.
Yeah, and we learned this with trial and error. She just fucked off one time this person was here, and I was like, that was rude. Like you didn't even say anything to me. You just got up and fucked off. And you're allowed to do that. Protect yourself. But like also, when you do shit out of character,
like Ethan,
you know that my focus is on you. Like this brought up this very conversation. I was like, hey, I'm gonna need you to say something to me next time, so I know what's up, because it could have been any of a million things for you just to fuck off, but you never fuck off like that.
Ethan knows me the best, so if I go mute and then leave, there's something that's sitting uneasy with me, but it's not fair for Ethan to have to figure out, like, is it something he did? Is it something they did? Is it something about me?
Does she need my support right this fucking second?
So a big thing I like say to myself, as silly as it might sound, is I'm like, oh yeah, I have to announce my departure. Like, it has to be as simple as like, I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to shower, I'm going to take Nola for a walk. whatever. Ethan always walks me to the door whenever I'm leaving the house. So then maybe it's a quick conversation of like, this is what's happening, so that he can at least settle in like, okay, we're good. She just needs a sec. Or maybe it's like, I'm gonna go walk my dog. I shoot him a text, whatever. So at least he is in the loop and is not sitting there guessing. But I was bad for a while of not announcing my departure. I would just be like, I gotta go. And I would go. And then Ethan would be sitting there being like, what the fuck just happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything to add to that, I don't think.
What?
I don't have anything to add to that, I don't think.
Was there more than one?
There was many, but we can do many episodes if we have to. It's like that was one question, and it answered many things, but it'll bring up more. And I think that we covered, like, there was a couple of other questions along the similar veins. There was the overarching question of, like, how did you land here? And we kind of touched on that with because it's who you are.
Yeah.
The moment that there was a label for the thing that you are, it becomes so vividly transparent that you are that thing. Like my version of that was the moment that I got into researching polyamory and what it actually meant. My whole life made sense. Fuck. I can't stress that enough. Like, just I went back through every fucking memory that I have with friends and connections and people that were close to me, and never understanding why I could pour and pour and pour so freely and at the drop of a hat. Like, nobody had to earn my shit.
Yeah, I think I landed here by just like, I guess it's not backwards because it got me here, but of seeing
Fair.
like everything I didn't want, like looking around my life and my family and being like, not very many of you are actually happy with your life choices, and that's fine, but like, are we not going to do something about it? And it's just seeing like, I, even outside of my family, like watching people be married but knowing they're miserable, that's such a like fucked up concept to me. Like, you signed a piece of paper one time, so now you feel like you're stuck even though you hate your life.
You're trapped.
And people always, like, the amount of times I've heard from women, like especially middle-aged, like older women, of like, if my husband ever dies, I'm not getting remarried, I'm just going to move in with my girlfriend. Then why the fuck are you married to your husband currently?
Yeah,
that's like deeply confusing.
The argument
to me.
Of convenience is equally crazy to me. Like, our lives intertwined. I'm like, so and wait, so hold on. So then to further your point, when they die, you have nothing. Sorry, like I've seen it a lot of when the partner dies, the being has nothing. What a fucked up concept.
It's even in,
that's like, not beautiful to me to be that removed when a being dies, which we're all going to have so much taken from you. Like, that process is such a weird thought for me. It, of course, I'm gonna die first, so Jill's gonna have to go through some sorrow. But like, how beautiful to know that she also has a lot of people that love her.
It's also,
and she's not gonna lose love outside of the fact that I don't get to breathe anymore.
Like, and I say this, Ethan won't take this the wrong way, but one of you is probably gonna take it the wrong way. I was fine before Ethan. I will be fine after Ethan.
I fucking, if like, you weren't, I did something wrong while I was here.
Like, I'll be different, but I'll be fine. And I think that's like the part that makes no sense to me.
I'm
like,
still here, by the way.
It's fine. We're just getting close to.
We don't do hypotheticals with Ethan dying anymore because it's never. Not even just this close. No, this can happen any day at any time. Sorry, it's weird. This is cute. First time it was alarming for me. So now it's cute, and I'm sorry, baby. Like this right here, like this. I love you. The thought of losing me is tough. And like, yes, but like, there also is going to be there to the other side of this knowing grief is Jill's also going to be okay.
Somebody just watched that and was like, "Are you gonna?" Be okay?
Like, yeah, it's not that we view it like the way that we address it is different. It's not about the fact that she loses everything. She's just losing a piece, and that we all understand as grief. But to lose everything The only time that I've ever seen it is in real genuine love, is when someone lost everything and didn't know it until they lost it. But like, to your vein of the other side of the toxicity is like, all of you other people know it. You're miserable currently and you're choosing to live in convenience. It's going to be even more inconvenient when you realize that you put yourself into boxes you were never supposed to fit in. And that moment happens when you realize you have nothing of your own. You don't believe me? Go follow Asking Strathcona County. If you're a woman, go to the moms group in Strathcona County every day, if not every other day, that I'll stand on. There is a question about, what do I do? My husband left. Or what do I do?
I
I
need
want
to
to leave
lose
my
weight.
husband.
Yeah.
What do
My
I do?
husband
I
cheated
have
on me.
nothing. I have no skills, no talent, no. How uncomfortable of a thought as a parent that my daughter is growing up in a world that's trying to do that to her. That the only way to live is to do this way of life. The potential to be trapped and stuck in a place out of convenience and live miserable. No. I goddamn fuse that shit for her. She
It's
can choose it, sure. But fuck the fact that the world wants it to be her only option. Or she could be happy to. Fuck you. Literally, fuck you. That's not what I'm
also
talking
like
about.
you can be happy and have a credit card in your own name.
You can
Both
be
can be true at the same
married and
time.
have your own career. You can be, but like, that's not how this went. It went, women stay home, men go work, and we're still trying to outlive that fucking bullshit. So people are stuck in these places at 40 years old, at 30 years old. Some of these motherfuckers are in their 20s still. Stuck.
It's even as simple as
Oh, this turned into a weird.
when we applied for this house, our landlord had a very hard time believing I should be the primary applicant because there's no way the only female in the house makes the most money. Like, that is still the world we live in. And I see it in the moms group all the
How
time
about trying to get insurance?
of I need to leave my husband, but I don't have a credit card. I don't have a job. He owns my car. He owns the house. But what do you mean? What do you mean? You don't have anything for yourself. And like, if you're listening to this and this is your current situation,
Take it as a non, like, we're not
also
talking directly to you, but we kind of are, because you heard this long before this moment.
Also, like, right now, go apply for a credit card. Like, the least you can do for yourself is have a way to access money that doesn't depend on the man in your life. And like, that is my hyper
And for
independence.
you men out there, sorry, I need to interject because I will. If you're a male and you hear this and you're in this situation, the same shit is true. I mean it. Like,
Have
this
something in
does
your
domestic
name.
violence and all of this shit, all of this control, this grooming, this can absolutely go both ways. And while we are addressing the absolute main issue being right here, males, the other side of the coin is that this does in fact happen to males too. So if you are male, this doesn't exclude you. You need something in your name. You need access to money in your name for your own safety and well-being. Uh, Outside of the extremes that we just mentioned, but like, as your own safety net for life, because anything could happen at any time. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's prepared for anything. I'm
Nobody
not
wants
asking you to be prepared for everything, but some of y'all ain't prepared for anything.
like nobody wants to think worst case scenario, but like you don't have to. And like
Because my brain does it for you.
my hyper independence can't. Like, I see those posts
Yeah.
come through in the moms group and it's not even sympathy. And like, this might make me sound like the worst person. That's fine. It's not even sympathy. It is, what the fuck do you mean at no point in your life did you want anything in your own name? Like, that is crazy to me. Your kids have his last name, your house is in his name, he bought you his car, he told you you don't need to work. What do you mean? And like, I've seen that happen in so many ways, in so many forms throughout my life. And as a kid, of like watching all these women be miserable in their lives, but like, this is what we're supposed to do, so we have to keep doing it. And my whole brain was like, there's gotta be a different option. And it started with, as you guys know, I don't actually think I want kids. I don't actually think I want to get married. I don't actually think I want to pick one person and be like, well, this is it. Suck it up for the rest of my life. Like the white picket fence, married with kid. I'm good. I used to always say, and like, I don't know if this is something I've said out loud to Ethan before. I used to always say that, like, when I still wanted kids, like, I'm fucking good. My husband can stay home and be the stay at home dad. I'm going the fuck to work. Like,
You did
fuck,
say that.
I'm staying home with kids. And I've always had the narrative in my head of, like, I'm fine being the breadwinner because I would rather have the money in my name and know that I'm fine than sit there and rely on a man and hope he doesn't fuck this up for everybody or hope that I don't fuck it up for myself. Like, so I think like it's been long ingrained in my being that I don't need to follow the social norms of go get married, go have kids, stay home with them. Like that sounds terrible. Stay at home. Like I kudos to you guys because I would have dead children, which is why I will not have any. um but it's just like that version of life has never sounded fun to me, and there's always been a piece of my brain that's like there's got to be something more than get married, have kids, stay home.
And if that's your choice, while knowing there are options, then so be it. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah.
Genuinely not like with everything in my fucking being. If that is what you choose, cool. But like, it doesn't count as a choice if it's the only option.
Or if you're not the one who made it, like.
But no, but that's my point. Is like it's the only option. It's not a choice if you can only go one way. Well, you could refuse to go. Huh? Shut up.
Yeah, or if you change your mind, there's no option out. Like I say that with all the love that like I give kudos to stay-at-home moms. Um and I love that for you if that's actually what you want to do with your life, and I think that's always been our stance on this podcast and in life that like if you're monogamous, cool, be monogamous, but like make sure you made that decision for yourself. Like
when we talk shit about the negatives and the toxic, and we mean it. This is also our podcast, but like to Jill's point,
as long as you're happy and it was actually your decision, cool. Because until 3 years ago, I didn't know that there was another option, and I was just going to float in this space of like, what am I going to do with my life? If I don't go that way, which way do I go? Mm-hmm. So being given an option is cool, and that's, as you guys know, it's something we always say of like, we just want you to know there's other options. If you're sitting there being like, what the fuck am I doing with
on the real life? On the heavier side, like it's also like how for people searching for themselves in a place they're never going to find it. That was me. Like I've known that I wasn't straight my whole life, would never admit it. I vehemently fought against it. What happened to me? For those of you that don't know, look it up. Buy my book. But like there was only straight or gay. I wasn't gay. I for sure like women. So then I have to be straight because I can't be gay because there's only two options. Then bi in my later adult life, but like bi was always just a joke, and I don't mean that as like a haha. I mean that like I'm not all the way straight. So like, but I'm not gay. So like there has to be a middle. So that's two things. That's bi. That's what that is. So it has to be bi. I used to joke that Sean was gonna have to shave his beard one day because like I'm gonna have to know if I can make out with you or not because he's a beautiful human. Like if you don't know Sean or what he looks like, you really should check it out. He's a beautiful human. But that's right there. It should have been a sign that there was more to it than just two levels, this weird binary structure. And it wasn't until I danced with Cedar T. And Kissick asked me if I was pan. And I said no, because I was like, no. I'm like bi, like I for sure. But it still never really fit. Bi was weird. Like that, I don't like men. Just like that's not even like a no, like I don't like up into cis male. I do have attraction, and that's when pan made sense. It was all, and even that didn't last very long because pan being all, if I don't like or I'm not attracted to males, like then it can't be all. So then there has to be something else that fits. But like, how much do I want to chip away at these things to find the actual? Do I need a label? I like that I'm pan. I love that I'm pan. I love that I get to find beauty and attraction in so many different things about so many different people. Now I get to live more Ethan than I ever have before. The option to find yourself, the ability to search in these spaces and actually have somewhere to land for the first time in your life. That didn't happen until I was 31. 32. How the fuck old am I now? 34. Yeah, 32. 32, 3 decades of searching and fighting and thinking I'd found it. I'd done all the healing and therapy and trauma and everything else. And it's still, the last 2 years have been the hardest, but the most beautiful, to find more pieces of me, more communities that I have access to, that I also get to build and create in. It's more than surface level, and the surface level shit's super important here. But like, yeah, sorry, tangent on that. What?
Just listening. Yeah, I think it's just like knowing there's options and knowing that like you don't have to just like pick a label, like float.
You want to be married, cool, but you can keep your own last name if you love it. If you want to, if it's on your business, like, those are options.
Yeah, like
craft it for yourself,
and also just like float for a second. Like you don't have to be like, okay, well, if I don't want to get married, then I have to be like, just float for a second.
Also,
breathe,
yeah,
chill.
great
like,
point, babe. Sorry.
It's not really a one or the other
Yeah.
type of thing. And I had this conversation with a new connection the other day of like, we were chatting about how so deeply important it is for males, but also like going on society, males, yes, but especially females, to have their own fucking thing in this life. Like, I don't care what it is. If it's a hobby, if it's a side hustle, if it's a relationship outside of your marriage, whatever. Like, have your own thing. Mm-hmm. Females are far from equal in this world to men, but like, it's so fucked up to me that females just don't have their own thing in their life.
But not enough.
So like, it doesn't have to be a relationship. Have a hobby, have a sport you play, have a craft you do, have something for yourself outside of your partnership. Mm-hmm. Because I think, like, especially women, again, it happens to men, but like, I feel like you don't have to caveat that every time. Mm-hmm. Women just like toss away all of themselves to be in a relationship. And it's the same. I have this conversation with clients all the time of like, who are you outside of a wife and a mom? Because there was somebody before you were those two titles. Where'd she go? And it can be as simple as like having a workout routine, having something. Like, as much as it sounds harsh, I was Jill before Ethan, I will be Jill after Ethan. Like, that, who are you before you threw all these titles on? And I think that was a big piece for me, was watching like the women around me just be like, I'm a wife and a mom. And I'm like, that can't be the only goal in life, to be a wife and a mom. So people ask, and Ethan's new connection asks, like, how did I land here? Like, there's so many pieces that now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, I've been this way. It just like literally wasn't an option that I was aware of. And all of those things of like me being so against the traditional life makes sense because I was meant to be over here. It wasn't meant to be a wife and a mom. And I was meant to be a business owner and a human that exists how she wants to.
And a fucking toy.
And like, most of the women I meet that have landed here are also the black sheep of their family. And like, I tell Ethan all the time.
Do you? I'm learning.
I've told Ethan frequently, I would say all the time, that like, I am the black sheep of my family. And as much as that's like, haha, funny, like Jill's the one that's done all the things and my cousins are going to have their life so easy because I've covered all the bases. It's also like not that fun to be the one that's like, I'm going to go this way. And as much as it's like freeing and cool and beautiful, like, it's still work to be the one to be like, you guys go, I'm going to go this way. Yeah. So like, you also have to be okay with not everybody liking your life choices, but it's not their life. So
I promise the more work that you do on you,
yeah,
the less you give a shit.
it's like, how did I land here? Long answer long. I stopped being a people pleaser and like
Still pleases me.
thinking I had to like go the way everybody else did. But there's probably pieces of you that know you're not meant to live the life you think you're meant to live. You just got to start actually listening to those pieces.
Yeah, there's for sure some of the math that isn't mathing for you, for lots of people. It doesn't mean you have to make this life-altering decision right now, but like, you've known it long before we mentioned shit.
That's why you're listening to the podcast.
Probably why you're here.
That's why you didn't listen to the first episode and go, nope.
Yeah, like there's just pieces of this where everybody has them. I've spoken to a few of them now, the aha moments, the looking back and going, oh, it all makes sense now, holy shit. And we all have these moments of like, something's up. And it's something, I've exhausted all other options. I've done the thing, I've done the therapy, I've done the talk, I've done the speak, I've done the read, I've done the walk, I've done the move, I've done the You've done everything except for poke your head out of the box. See what's actually around you. You're still trying to do all those things from inside of a box you were never meant to fit in. We're all guilty of it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And it's also like pattern recognition. Like when I was monogamous, I dated every type of man to exist. Like if you look at my type when I was monogamous, I don't have one. I dated rich white men. I dated
drug dealers.
I dated not white.
What are we hiding our past now?
Like I dated the like typical like I love you. If I choose this man, my life will be set because he has money. I've dated the like
my parents gonna hate this.
My parents are gonna hate this guy, but it's out of the norm. So maybe we should try that. Then I've circled back to like this guy's really nice. And there was always something where I'm like, it's not right. Like if I chose to get married and have kids with him, that like life would be great and fine. It wouldn't have been. But it pulled me away from all my friends and family. I've circled back to like, no, I'm gonna dated Ethan for a minute. Then I was like, you know what? Let's go like the nice guy. Like we're not going looks. We're not going anything else. We're going, this guy's really nice. And then I was like, yeah, nice isn't actually enough.
Ta-da! Wound up with this.
But it's just like there's probably patterns.
She settled on this walking problem of
I didn't settle. But there's like pattern recognition there too of like, no shit. I was like, bing, 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 bing. And everything was just like, nope, still not right. Because that's not how I was meant to do this in the first place.
Yeah. I think we'll wrap there. That was a great episode. It was a long episode. This will be a good one, but there's a lot there.
But you guys can also like take this in 2 parts.
Yeah, do that. But it's also like you guys see us on the live. The same conversations you hear. The same like only the people in this room get that sentence. So like enjoy.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've put out a long episode. We've been trying to be mindful of time to like make it more digestible
but also, like,
for you guys.
Y'all love us and love hearing our shit. You sit on lives with us for 2 hours, so like I actually don't care.
Not gonna lie, even as a podcast listener, like I love a good like hour and a half episode.
Because I get to come back to it,
and or like now that's what I'm listening to the whole time I clean my house. Like sometimes you
set a time window and you're like, perfect.
Nothing more annoying than when I like pick a podcast while I'm cleaning and then my podcast stops and then I have to stop and I have to pick, like now you can just hit play and do whatever the fuck you need to do.
So genuinely and honestly, thank you for listening, showing up the way you do, asking your questions, ask more, share your stories, share your experiences. There's nothing really off limits. Just don't be a cunt or an asshole about it. That's it. Like,
and I also will say, like,
would you guys show up to watch one of these live? Like not just online, but if we did it at a coffee house here and recorded the whole thing live? There's a random thought.
I also think, like, don't be scared to ask it wrong. I put that in air quotes because I think people hesitate to ask things because they're like, well, I don't want to word it wrong. Like, we'll help you. We'll help you reword the question if we can figure out what you're trying to get
Especially because we get a lot of questions all the time. So we have a lot of stuff that we don't get to answer or haven't answered or haven't had the time. So you ask us a question in a new way or a better way or a way that we've heard before. We're like, oh, okay. Someone else asked it. That makes more sense. We pieced 2 together. Here we go. Now we know how to answer this one. So yeah, like we'll suss it out. We know 92% of you are here because you want to be here and they're asking questions that are genuine, want to understand, learn all the stuff. So we'll suss it out. We have more grace.
And for the other 8%, thanks
Fuck
for
you.
giving us views.
And thanks for giving us.
I like that we went opposite ways. I'm like, thanks for the engagement.
Thanks for giving
anyways.
us. Thanks for giving us cannon fodder, you fucks. But we love you all, even the haters. Especially the haters. Actually, like, y'all make my dick hurt when you get upset. So.
Anywho, you know where to find us by now. You can find me at CoachJill.April. You can find Ethan at Fight Me On This. You can find the podcast at Shifting the Lens Podcast on everything. And
you can find Jill tied up in the basement.
Hopefully. And you can find us back here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you.